Okay.
Good morning to everyone. I will start my presentation with some general considerations about science and scientific research. We are all aware that science has a very universal nature, that scientific research is an important issue, not only for well-developed countries, but also for countries which are developing still, and that striving to become part of a global research network makes strong influence on local science. And of course, new IT implementations bring new communication patterns. These are some scientometric analyses which are old but are still valid. And the report says that only 12 countries are responsible for more than 85% of research papers. And all those papers are published in well-known journals, and of course are mostly in English, sorry. And as other researchers from smaller countries, Croatian researchers publish to get recognition from international scientific community. Croatia has less than 0.1% of our population, and research has been carried out mainly by academic institutions and scientific institutes. We have 4 universities in Croatia and 27 scientific institutes. The number of scientists and engineers is scarce, and we have 7,000 full-time and 1,000 part-time scientists. More than half of the researchers are located at university-affiliated institutions. Science in Croatia is financed through 1,660 scientific research projects, governed by maximally 3-year contracts. And for the past 10 years, individual scientists, institutions, and even in some cases disciplines have been evaluated mostly according to their publication output in mainstream journals. Research there are some numbers about part of GDP which is allocated for research and development, and this number for 2001 is very approximate because I made a calculation based on GDP for this year and population and number of researchers. But we can see that Croatia would get almost 0.98 is on this scale together with so-called Eastern countries in Europe. We have several bibliographies in Croatia. The oldest one is Bibliografija Hrvatska, which includes all publications from 15th century to 1863. We have also Croatian National Bibliography, which is issued by National University Library, and all papers are included, published in Croatia. We have also thematic bibliographies, which are very comprehensive, like Biomedicina Croatica, and so on. But why we start with this project, Croatian Scientific Bibliography? Because only a part of Croatian scientific production is covered by bibliographies we have, and only a part of Croatian scientific production is included in international databases. And we also had a need to include other types of documents like unpublished papers, reports, and unconventional literature. In this initiative, Ministry of Science and Technology had a crucial role They were collecting the data about scientific output for many years, but those data were not available. And in 1992, decision was made about better organization and how to make data available to the public. And what is important is that they recognize librarians as fully competent to do this job. Croatian scientific bibliography goals, main goals are to provide current comprehensive information about scientific output in Croatia, about ongoing research projects, about publications dealing with specific subject fields. We are offering also reports which can be used for different purposes. We have also full-text archive of Croatian publications. Unique link is provided to the institutional bibliographies which can be put on web pages of institutions. And also the main goals are to improve communication between scientists and to promote Croatian scientists. CROSBI was developed and still is developing by 2 people. We have also web and database administrators. There was small investment in hardware. Everything's running on PC under Linux. And we have no investment in software. We are using Postgres database. Network is provided by Carnet. And the whole project is maintained on less than $10,000 annually. CROSBI has some very unique aspects. First of all, bibliography is generated by authors themselves. And librarians are only providing forms, standards, and are monitoring the whole system. And ministry is not more data keeper, but has the role of the user. CROSBI process is very simple. Author enters the data using web templates. Database administrator controls the input, and librarians are monitoring papers assigned to their institutions. Everyone can search and browse. Those are main CROSBI advantages. First of all, coverage. All areas of science are covered, all scientific institutions, all publications. The system is open to the correction of the data, and all entries could be corrected. We are collecting feedback from scientists, and we had established very good communications with scientists. Librarians and monitoring, and maybe the most important advantage is currency. CROSBI interface has several functions like input, edit, browsing, search engine, statistical data, frequently asked questions, guidelines, and contact for support. This is a homepage of Croatian scientific bibliography, and this is English interface, which doesn't have this input and possibility to correct the data because it's only for searching and browsing. User can browse papers according to the projects, research fields, academic and research institutions, and also by scientists. Advanced search interface has enough possibility to do quality search. It is not really advanced, but we are trying to improve search possibilities. We are collecting the data about different kinds of publications like journal paper in press, book chapter, textbook, dissertation, conference proceeding paper, patent, and other types of paper like technical reports. And at the moment, we have more than 70,000 papers in the database, and we can see that Croatian scientists are publishing mostly conference proceedings paper, which is a little bit surprising, but the number of journal papers is also very high. We are using 3 paper categories in Croatia. This is a little bit different from Western countries. We made distinction between scientific, professional, and review paper. And category has to be assigned to every type of paper. If we divide journal papers according to Institute for Scientific Information inclusion criteria, I should say that mainstream journal in Croatia means journal which is indexed by ISI publications like citation reports or current contents database and so on. We can see that only 25% of journals are indexed by ISI publication, and all of the papers are scientific, and this violet segment are articles. Red are other journal papers, and we can see that professional articles are mostly published in the journals which are not indexed by ISI publication, and those are mostly Croatian journals. If you look at journal papers by category, we can see that 70% are original scientific papers and 17% are professional papers. Almost half of the books are monographies. And the interesting part of conference are conference papers. Conference papers are a very important part of Croatian scientific output, and we can see that Croatian scientists usually has talk or poster on the conference. And red segments means that conference was has international peer review, and the dark one segment is reflects on the conferences which has domestic Croatian peer review process. The white one is are conferences without peer review. Conference papers according referring process and presentations in the conference proceedings. The biggest part of the papers presented on internationally refereed conferences ended like full paper in conference proceedings, and only 1/3 of the papers ends only by abstracts published in conference proceedings. For conferences without peer review and with local peer review, more papers ends like only with abstracts in the conference proceedings. By language, we can realize that more than half of journal papers are published in English. We are trying to improve continuously our system, and we will also include Radovan's remarks on we are doing to introduce URL and everything needed to cover electronic publications. We are trying to offer different kinds of reports. We will try to customize our system to introduce automatic indexing and to improve search and to include more librarians in database maintenance. Our biggest plan for the future is to improve our full-text archive. And we also want to establish some data exchange with not only with proprietary database which we have on our institutions, but also with commercial, non-commercial, bibliographic and full-text databases. And we will try to harvest Croatian domain to collect data about papers. And on the end, highlights of the projects. Very important is that the project is done inexpensively. We can see that visibility of research is increased. Project utilizes librarian skills, enhances researcher participation to increase accuracy, provides national visibility. And for the end, I wish to thank my brilliant colleague Ivo Batistic, who is working with me on this bibliography more than 5 years now, and to Ministry of Science and Technology for their visions and support, not only financial, and to you, audience, for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stojanovski. Are there any questions? Okay. Yeah, we can prepare our next speaker, but still I'd like to ask one. Jadranka, I would like to ask one question. Can we say the percentage of the, or can we imagine the percentage of the papers, whatever works, real works covered by your system? I'd say in Croatia we have an amount of papers. And what part of that is covered by your database? Can you imagine, guess? 30%, 80%, 90%?
More than 90%.
More than 90%.